felt love for a little while.
Good evening. My name is Ann Loftus. I'm the President and CEO for First Nebraska Credit Union. Due to the continued pandemic, we are holding our second virtual annual meeting to review our financial performance and updates for 2020. We welcome you and want to thank you for joining us this evening. Before we get started, we have a few housekeeping items. We'll be referring to our 2020 annual report during the presentation. You can access this report by clicking on the annual report in the yellow boxes shown on your screen. During our meeting, you will be asked to vote after the presentation of minutes and all reports have concluded. Once a motion has been made and seconded, you will see a voting box and you'll simply click yes or no, then select to submit. There's a limited amount of time allowed, so you'll want to vote as soon as it pops up for you. You can also ask questions during the presentation. You simply click on the white box, type your question, and click send. Only the moderator will be able to see your question and will provide answers in the order received. Some other helpful tips, do not maximize your video screen. If you do not hear sound, make sure the video sound is on and also check the device's volume speakers. Smartphone users, once you open the annual report, the presentation will not be displayed. You can choose to keep the annual report open as we discuss the reports, or you can close that screen to get back to the presentation and then you can vote or ask questions. PC users, once you click on the annual report, it will open in a new window. Simply minimize the annual report screen to get back to the presentation. We do appreciate you joining us today, and I'm going to turn the meeting over to Phil Kottmeyer, Vice Chairman of our Board of Directors.
Thank you, Ann. Welcome everyone to our second virtual annual meeting. My name is Phil Kottmeyer, Vice Chair of your Board of Directors. I will call the 2020 annual meeting of the First Nebraska Credit Union to order. This meeting requires a quorum of membership defined by the First Nebraska Credit Union bylaws, with a minimum of 15 members. Based upon your registration for attending the virtual meeting, I have confirmed that we have met this requirement. First Nebraska Credit Union has a total of 10 board and supervisory members as shown on your screen. Each serves the membership in a voluntary capacity, with our longest member starting in 1973 and our newest member began serving this year in 2021. Each member serves on a volunteer basis, and on behalf of myself, the executive team, and the membership, I would like to thank each of them for their service. I will appoint Dale Kovar as recording secretary for this meeting. The minutes of last year's annual meeting can be found on page 4 and 5 of your annual report. Please review these minutes as we will be voting on their approval after all 2020 reports have been presented. Jeff Campbell has provided the chairman's report on pages 9 of your annual report. 2020 proved to be a very challenging year. On behalf of the Board of Directors and Supervisory Committee, I would like to express our appreciation to the staff and management for their impressive performance. I would also like to express our appreciation to the membership for their cooperation as we dealt with the COVID-19 pandemic. Hopefully, we will soon be back to operating in a less restrictive environment. I would like to highlight what I feel is a marvelous accomplishment. The FNCU, in conjunction with the State Banking Department, conducted an audit of our 2020 operations. I am happy to report that your credit union is strong. The strong financial results are a reflection that we have staff and management that looks to provide services in both a professional and caring manner. The Treasurer's report has been provided by Mike Hoskovic, our Secretary Treasurer. His report can be found on page 10 of the annual report. Please refer to this report as we will vote on its approval at the end of the reports. Karen Fisher, Supervisory Chair, has submitted the Supervisory Committee report, also on page 10. The Supervisory Committee has reported that they have reviewed and approved all audit reports. A financial statement of audit letter from Peterson and Associates is also provided for you on page 16 of the annual report. At this time, I would like to turn the podium over to Dale Kovar, Chief Financial Officer, to present the credit union financial information, showing the strength of our First Nebraska Credit Union.
Thank you, Phil. The financial summary can be found on page 15 of your booklet. Financial statements are from page 11 through page 15. Assets grew by a little more than 11%, almost 11.5%. That was due primarily to the unprecedented share deposit growth that we saw, which was at 17%, record year for the credit union as a whole. This was primarily due to the stimulus payments that came in as a response to the pandemic. Gross loans grew by 1.43%. It was actually less than we had planned, but due to the pandemic and lower interest rates, there was a significant refinance boom. And hopefully you've all taken advantage of that on your mortgage loans. If not, call your friendly credit union and we'll get you set up with an additional mortgage refi. Net worth grew by 2.4%, pretty strong, and our net worth remains strong, very solid 14.18%. For the year of 2020, gross income remained flat over 2019, which was an achievement in and of itself given the challenges that we had during the pandemic year. Continuing those challenges, we were able to maintain our operating expenses at a modest growth of 1.76%. With that, should you have any questions regarding the financials, you can enter those in the chat box as Ann had mentioned. And with that, I'd like to turn it back over to Ann.
I'm very pleased to present our 2020 annual report. It demonstrates our financial strength despite operating in an unprecedented pandemic throughout this past year. On behalf of our volunteers serving on the Board of Directors and Supervisory Committee and our executive team, we would like to thank you for your membership. We also want to thank our select employee groups for partnering with us to provide great benefits and for their employees. We're grateful for the opportunity to serve all of you. Special thanks to our team of dedicated employees who have demonstrated their commitment in serving you over the past year. As an essential service, we were able to maintain operations to ensure your service was not disrupted and all of your financial needs were met. We want to give special recognition to 2 volunteers who retired from service in 2020. A big thank you to Dolores Hogan, who served as a volunteer for 34 years, and Rich Hood, who served 25 years. It takes great commitment and dedication to serve as a volunteer, and we are very grateful and blessed to have volunteers who have such a high level of commitment to the credit union movement. We also want to welcome our newest supervisory committee members. Cassandra Marisette Banks joined our team of volunteers in 2019, and Bill Burns was appointed in 2020. Both have been active volunteers participating in many community service projects. Thank you all for your service. Our focus in what we do is to provide financial well-being for all of you. Financial well-being is defined as a state of being wherein a person can fully meet current and ongoing financial obligations, can feel secure in their financial future, and is able to make choices that allow them to enjoy life. As your credit union, we're here to help you meet all those financial needs. People helping people is what we do best. This past year, navigating through the pandemic, we helped many of our members who had their financial well-being disrupted. We implemented several financial relief initiatives that helped our members. We skipped over 1,200 loan payments and modified and restructured numerous loans, offered low-rate emergency funding, and waived fees for members who had been financially impacted by the pandemic. Our staff has worked one-on-one with members to listen to their needs in order to help provide some financial relief during this time. And we established a partnership with GreenPath to provide additional free budgeting and payment reduction resources for our members. We strive to provide you with the right tools so you can have financial well-being. We want to thank you for participating in our second virtual annual meeting. We appreciate your membership and continued support. Please take time to look through the 2020 annual report for details on your products and services that are available to you. At this time, I'll turn the meeting back over to Phil Kottmeyer, Vice Chair.
At this time, I will call for a motion to approve the minutes of the August 24th, 2020 annual meeting and all reports provided to you as shown on your screen. In a moment, a First Nebraska Credit Union member will need to make a motion and another member will need to second the motion to approve the minutes and all the reports as presented. This will be followed by an immediate vote by the membership to approve the motion.
In the sunset glow, in that sunset glow, you looked more beautiful than anyone I know, than anyone I know. You ended up falling for me. To this day, I don't know how. I think about it constantly. I promise I won't let you down. But when I asked, you told me yes, to be in mine forevermore.
We have received a motion and a second to approve the minutes and all the reports as presented. You will need to select yes to approve or no if you are not in favor of approving the minutes and reports as they are presented. If you have not yet voted, please vote now. I have confirmed, based upon the votes, the motion has passed. The Nominating Committee Chair, Nancy Wallace, has provided and recommended candidates to be accepted by the Board of Directors for the 2 open positions this year. Board members up for re-election this year are myself and Cynthia Sherman. Board of Director positions are for a 3-year term, so these positions will expire in 2024. Nancy has reported that no other nominations were received. Because only one person is nominated for each vacancy, ballots and voting by the membership is not necessary. Seeing no unfinished business,
We did receive a question from the membership regarding interest rates. And as you've kind of mentioned earlier, the rates have been coming down due to the, again, a response to the pandemic. Lots of cash in the money systems currently. In regards to the rates that we set as a board of directors and as an ALCO committee, it is based on market rates and liquidity. So from the standpoint of what's going to be your highest yielding investment here at the credit union, it's going to be our certificates of deposit, which do lock in those rates for a period of time. So they are a term certificate. If you're interested on the liquidity standpoint, wanting something that you can readily access, such as from a savings account, we do offer a money market, a couple of money market accounts. One is a higher yielding money market called our Advantage Money Market, and the other is our Super Saver. So those would be the highest rates while still keeping your money liquid, that being you can draw on it at any time. And our money market rates are competitive in the marketplace. So thank you for your questions, and I will turn it back over to Phil.
Thank you, Dale, for answering the question that was submitted online. So at this point, seeing no unfinished business and no new business, I will adjourn the virtual 2020 annual meeting of the First Nebraska Credit Union. Thank you for your attendance. Meeting is adjourned.